All right, motherfuckers, here we are, another fucking video by yours truly, and today I have something quite special for you. Surprisingly, to me, you guys really like the psychology behind how you can actually close people, not just the typical follow this stupid ass autistic linguistic so that you can just say blah 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 and you're gonna immediately close someone. That's not how it fucking works, and I'm gonna show you how it is. So I'm gonna make a little bit more of content on the psychology side so that you guys can understand why things work in a certain way and why things are not. All right. And if you like it, don't forget to put something in the fucking comments. Now, being fair to all of you, I'm a psychologist. I make $50,000 a month. I work with the highest companies that are out there at this point. So I know what I'm saying. I would say the world of sales is incredibly fucked right now because of all the advice that you're receiving, which is linguistics, linguistics, linguistics. So pay attention and see how things really work. All right. In this video, what you're going to see is going to be very fucking simple. You're going to learn how you can direct your own personal efforts so that you know how to actually become a great salesman and a great fucking human being. You're going to learn what are the 3 stages of making money and where you are right now and what you should do to get the most out of it. I'm also going to be showing you, and this is what I said before about linguistics, what you should be looking for in prospects. It's not what you should be saying, it's what you should be seeing and hearing from them, because that is going to give you the biggest piece of information so that you know exactly what to say and what not to say so that you can close them. All right? I'm going to literally show you how you can realize when prospects are lying to you. You just have to watch this fucking video. I'm going to show you what it is that you're supposed to do when someone is scared to pay and how you can help them overcome that by explaining you not the stupid linguistic, but explaining you what is fear and how you can use that for your favor and how you can eliminate that. All right? So enough of the fucking intro. Watch the video, enjoy this shit, and don't forget to drop a comment below. Here we are. Welcome to another Hunter's Eye. My yes, now I can say it. I couldn't say it in the previous call. Here we are today with the hopes of learning and becoming better. In the topics that we'll be discussing today, number 1, that I bought a Rolex. Just to flex again, I'm going to show it. Kevin, look at it. This is as close as you're going to get to one. Yes. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Inconsistencies makes the sale. Hunter's Eye. Hunter's Eye. I said Hunter's Eye? Really? Oh, I have dementia. I have schizophrenia. Sorry, boys. So it's a hunter's call. Yeah. Whatever. Who gives a fuck? Yeah, but I'm taking it to a jeweler. Yeah, to a Jew. I'm taking it to a jeweler. So yeah, what's the price? It was like 19K. Can you get a fake one from Ghana or South Africa? Yeah, I probably can. I mean, there must be like a bunch of those. So if you know who said this, previous mentor, he said that when he started, he got himself a like a cheap fake Rolex that every time he put it, he had stains in his wrist because of the heat, because of how much the poor quality of it. But it just gave him a lot of confidence. So yeah, interesting. Still, after the call that we had today, and I literally broke down confidence to a singular sentence so that you guys can manufacture it like that pretty much. Tyler, you want to give some words on that? Or Russian comrade? Amro too. Carlito? Anyone wants to say something on that? So that these people feel bad.
Yeah, feel bad. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, leisure.
All right. Teamwork. So let's begin. So let's I would love to hear if you guys have questions, and if not, we just jump into role plays. So yeah, Russian comrade.
Russian combat reporting. Yeah, I know it's a role play call, so I just have one quick question. When it comes to juggling multiple offers, I know you would be able to give me a more specific advice once I have this thing going, but I'm kind of looking for a framework. So the goal is to hold on to those offers as long as I can until I see what was working out, or how do I, what should be my goal specifically with getting multiple offers?
The advantage with getting multiple offers that are not that good is that you can have many and then you just pick the one that gives you something and you just test them all at once, you know? So, yeah, I would say you can definitely do that. Just be careful and not, it's not the same to have two offers and you're like, okay, I'm going to see both and see which one, like, can give me something than to have five and you have no time to do anything. So, two, three is excessively pushing it, especially depending on if it's like in-house or if it's online, multiple factors. But so tell me, clarify your question. I can maybe give you a better answer.
Yeah, so I mean, I doubt I would get on five, but it's more like, um, I know for a fact what I mean, because I mean I'm applying like crazy. I'm having interviews pretty much every day right now. Plus, Boys and Easy sending me a bunch of leads. So thank you, gentlemen, and Easy. So what I thought was, for a plan is for me to get on all of them and try to stay as long as possible to see which one works the best. Because I know for a fact I will
Da,
eventually get overwhelmed.
da.
Even with two offers, I might get overwhelmed, and with 300%. So I guess my question was, is it a good idea to try to hold on to those just to see as long as possible? Because if, for example, one offer gives me a ton of calls, just try to have less calls on that offer just to make sure I have more time on the other one, just so I can put in my time in both and see. Tell me if it makes sense.
It does. I'll show you like this. So, this is basically what you should be doing. So I want you to imagine that you have three glasses. Yeah. So three glasses that they can contain a specific amount of water. And the whole point is that if you have 33, 33, and 33% of each of water, the whole point and what I'm trying to explain to you with this weird analogy is that you start like this, but then you start seeing which one is the best glass, if that makes sense. And then you start putting from this one a little bit here and a little bit here into the best one. Yeah.
Mhm.
So that the point is that eventually this one becomes full with water and this ones have nothing. What you shouldn't be doing is a little bit this and then a little bit back here and then a little bit back here, or just I'm going to try a little bit more here and I'm going to be trying a little bit here. My point is that you start equally with them all and you start looking at very quickly which one looks more promising and you start prioritizing that one only if it is more promising. Yeah. And then you start giving less and less and less to the rest. If you don't see anyone that is more promising, like literally they all look the same, then just keep maintaining that as for as much as you can. And then by just selection, you pick the one that it's working the less, like the one that is the most inefficient, and you completely eliminate that one. And then you stay with two. And then you just keep doing that, pouring the water more into one or the other. And you keep doing that until you have the full glass and nothing else. Make sense?
Yeah, thank you, Luca. This is exactly what I was looking for, because I know once I had things going, I would ask a more specific question, but I just needed a framework to see how to operate. That's perfect. Thank you. I will do just that. That's it on my end.
All right. Good shit. Asante.
Yes, yes. It was about the question that you told me to ask you. Um, because I remember the first call that I've watched that you ever had with the coaching call, like you said that a certain somebody had was working like 13 hours a day and he ended up having no hair. and then okay, that's a bad analogy. More or less, it's just about like work balance and also
Yeah.
time management as well.
Yeah. So the question that Kevin asked me was pretty much, hey, should I have no social life until I hit 10K a month? Clarifying this.
Basically.
I would say 0, 0K, 5K, 10K, more. Obviously, you guys can do whatever the fuck you want, right? I'm not your dad. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Just your mentor. And if you are between this bracket, yes, and by the way, just because 1 month
Can't
you
see your
hit
screen.
this, I'm actually retarded. Actually, I'm retarded. Anyways, going again. All
It
right.
was a test.
Yeah. It was a test to see if you guys were paying attention. Good. So what I said is that there's the 0K a month, the 5K a month, and the 10K a month, right? And more, clearly, right? If you are in this bracket, which is the 0 to 5K a month, yeah. Or if only once you hit more, like maybe 10K, but you did it only once, you're still in this bucket. Like, what this means, if you're in here, your social life, your fucking around life, your whatever spending time watching TV life should be close to 0. Yes? Because yes, I get it. You want to go out with friends. You want to train 3 times a day. You want to watch anime. Jeez. You want to go out with ladies. You want to attack black people, Isabel. Whatever it is that you guys do for hobbies, right?
Yes.
If you are in this bracket, you shouldn't be doing this stuff. You genuinely shouldn't, because you depend on yourself, and your family and whoever you want depends on that too, right? It's like, now obviously it's easier and obviously you want to do it, I understand, but at the same time is you cannot, you just cannot, you have to do stuff, you know. This is also the most difficult thing to do, because on the contrary, your mind is going to want you to do this as much, not this, just whoops. Basically, I'm just going to call it wasting time. Your mind is going to want to waste time, because you're suffering by being in here. Whether you guys realize or not, admit it or not, it's painful. I know it is. You know? So obviously you want to look for something that makes you feel good, and you want to not do it. You want to forget about it a bit. But the problem is that because of the type of men and women that you guys are, the development that you guys did personally, when you guys are wasting time, you're also thinking, a part of you, I could be doing this.
Yeah.
I could be, I could be doing this. I could be doing that. So you're not fully enjoying it. So what is the best advice in this situation? Very simple. You just work as much as you can, right? Without completely crashing and dying, Isabel. You just work you work very hard. And when you feel like, yeah, I need a break, or I'm getting very tired, you can push a bit more, but reward yourself with maybe an episode of anime, maybe an episode of your favorite TV show, going to the gym in an extra time if that makes you happy, spending a couple moment with friends or family. I remember that Russian comrade was super stressed, and then he went with family, friends. I remember something like that, and that made you feel better. Like, it's like, okay, I breathe again and I come back. So do that, yeah, but it's not a habit. It's like I've been working a lot. I need a little bit of relax. Then I work a lot. I need a little bit of relax. Without completely crashing yourself into like, I'm completely done. I cannot even open my eyes because how tired I am. So that's the best way, because you're gonna enjoy the quote unquote wasted time. And it's also gonna allow you to focus more on the priorities. Now, the second bucket is when you actually hit the 5K to 10K a month. And this is a more consistent stuff. Consistent means that at least for 3 months, you are here. Yeah. Not because, oh, I don't know. Shout out to Andrew Nader hitting the 10K a month. We're going to talk about that. But if he just did it this month, that doesn't mean that immediately he's in the second bucket. And in the second bracket, it's like, well, you're still in the first one because at least you have to be 3 months in this one. Yeah. In this, you have to work hard, very similar to this situation, because it's very easy for you to sleep on the laurels, which is basically, I'm fine, actually. I'm good. I can chill. This is, you have a lot more, I'm just going to put it like this, allowance. You can just allow yourself to say, I can do fuck all to say, and everything's going to be fine. You can give yourself luxuries that are not, okay, I'm going to watch one episode of one thing. I mean, it's like, it's like I can give myself even days if I need it. I can rest a bit on the weekends if needed. Pretty much. The thing is that you are walking on eggshells. I'm gonna draw this are eggshells, according to me. It's like you're kind of walking on eggshells because everything can go back very badly. Yeah, believe me, I've been there. So keep in mind this. Now, after those 3 months, and this is the fun part, I guess. After you have been in there for 3 months at least, and you're consistently making 10K a month, you get to the optional status, which is the sexiest of them all, which is, do I want to work more? I don't know. Do you? Let me tell you one thing, by the way. Making more than 10K a month is nothing. It is nothing. It sounds like, damn, this is awesome. But I can promise you, Engineer is going to blow it all away in like 1 month. Yeah. Same with George. Same with Liam. It's not that much as you would think. Now, obviously, it's really nice. And it allows you to live in a way different way than in the other brackets. So it's like, yeah, it will be pretty nice. But once you have money, you realize that it can go very way. Now, if you can maintain yourself here like this, and you're fine with that, cool. If you're someone who wants to help family, help friends, do more stuff, spend more money, travel more, do more stuff, then you have to increase it up. But we're not going to talk about that in detail because none of you are at that point right now. So it's like, it's kind of pointless. It's like me coaching myself. So it's kind of pointless. So we're going to just talk about these three places.
Yes.
Well, now it's like 50-50, but to the people that are in here in this sector, well, lock in. Like, you have to sacrifice things. You cannot have a balance because you're just starting anyways. You shouldn't be expecting a balance. Yeah. On the second one, which is this guy, you can allow yourself, like completely allow yourself to have breaks for more than a day and stuff. In here, you do whatever the fuck you want. This is where you get serious. Like, you can invest a lot more money. You can do so many different things than before, and your life really changes. But I made this a longer explanation, but I think it's important for you guys to know. Sometimes give yourself a break in here, only when you need it. In here, do it more because you want to. In here, you literally decide whatever you want. The funny thing is, and this is the trap, as you go on this path, you get even more and more serious with work. which is hilarious because back in this is dungeon life. All of you know that I lived in the dungeon and even on the street for a month. Dungeon life is, yeah, I need to do something. But I work harder now than before. It's like all I do is just working. I just maintain a level where I can sustain myself working all day, which is why I discussed in the one-on-one call with Isabel today earlier. But there's a level that you can just work all day, nonstop, which is what I do. So yeah. Yeah, I also noticed that Russian comrade. I was in the middle of an explanation, that's why I didn't say it. But Angelinator, yeah. Got that. Anyways, so let's. Anyways, Kevin, this answers your question.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like what I expected, to be honest with you. Yeah, man. I can't say anything to be fair because I remember there was a time, shout out to Tyler, me and him were talking about this, and he was like, bro, if you wanted to stay into fucking like a ballot, what do you call it in Africa? Soft life, then you should have continued with copy. And I was like, yo, damn, maybe, this is serious. Like, I can't even, so, oh man, I understand. I understand. Obviously, yeah, I understand. I get
Okay.
it.
No idea what you just said, but it sounded like you got it. So good shit. All right. Mercado.
Yeah, my question is I've had this issue with the leads or the prospects on the call. Mid-conversation, they just leave. I think it's because the way the call is framed, we're supposed to basically show them a system. Instead, I start running a discovery and asking questions, and they get annoyed. But it doesn't look like they're annoyed. That's just kind of a conclusion I came up with. So how could I pre-handle that to make sure that even if they get annoyed from calls or from the questions, that they won't just randomly leave?
Wait, what offer is this for?
This is for Dougie's offer.
What do you mean they leave? So you're just asking questions and they just leave? Literally.
Yeah, like they'll be answering the question and then just randomly they'll finish talking and they'll just leave.
But you already pre-handle the question situation? You
Yeah, I
do the
already did the
frame.
frame and everything.
Well, the thing is that it's very weird if you just pre-frame, hey, by the way, don't leave the call. It's like
Yeah.
it's you cannot do that. So I would say the thing is that in that offer, everything is fucked. That probably doesn't help you at all. What I would do is just be very alert because if you show me those calls, I can tell you this person is gonna leave. I'll more than likely realize and say, yeah, he's about to leave. You gotta do something here. So they will give you cues, right? Maybe if you cannot see them, you can do a hunter's eye or something. But my point is, you gotta be very have a lot of perception, yeah, be perspicacious, and see, yeah, this person is actually about to fucking go. Because if it's the only one, it's the only way. And once you see that, you can call that out there. Well, let's say that I just see something in your face, you're kind of like annoyed, distracted. You're looking at your watch, you're looking at your phone. You start like, okay, let's speed this up. You realize how they speak. They start speaking like I'm speaking right now, that it's kind of altering you, isn't it? Like to all of you, because I'm speaking like this is like, okay, let's just get things moving because this guy just doesn't stop. So people do this, right? And my point is, if you can't catch any of this, you have to call it out and say, hey, all right, let me ask you a couple more things. I don't want you to be bored right now. I don't want you to leave the call. you know, that's the way you do it, but you gotta see it coming, right? If you don't, then no. If you have nothing, it's more difficult because you have to train yourself to do it. But you can tell how engaged someone is just by their blink rate. This is something that I do consistently with you guys. This is how I know when I have to speak slow, how I have to speak fast, how I have to change something. And you could do it with multiple people. Like, obviously, if you try to do it now, let's say, I don't know, Amro wants to learn how to do this, and I explain him the blink rate, he's gonna look at Tyler, and then Isabel, and then Andre, and then Jared. It's like, it's kind of like you get crazy with it, right? But then you start learning it. I would say just focus on one person. All of you, you can practice it. Focus on one person. Just pick your partner, I guess you can call it, and just focus on the blink rate of that person. Because obviously there are obvious signs, which is, yeah, I'm not looking away, I'm looking at my watch, I'm looking at the phone. It's like, okay, that's obvious that I'm not paying attention. But and zooming out on me, I can zoom out, can't I? I can probably zoom out. Let me show you. There you go. So, hey, beautifuls. So, when someone is very engaged in what's going on, they will be blinking like me. Do you see how much I'm blinking? It's almost non-existent. Yeah. And the maximum focus, oh, I'm seeing that. I'm seeing that. The minimum, someone's cooking and it's not me. God damn. So in this example that for example, me, that I am giving the explanation, I am very engaged mentally. Therefore, you will not see me blink a lot. However, if one of you are distracted, or you're thinking about something else, or you're anxious about something, the blink rate decreases. Okay? It's kind of like this. It's someone who's super focused is like blinks 3 times per minute. Someone who's not, or is anxious, blinks like 80 times per minute. So just keep that difference in mind. It's like a lot. And if you start really focusing on it, you really start realizing when someone is engaged or not. So if you're talking with someone and that someone is like this, like we're all watching Andronator, you know, like we're all engaged on that, it's like, yeah, cool. Then obviously we're not going to be blinking. But if you're not, and I am just, you know, whatever, she even looks like she would be, no. Okay. But does that answer gives you another cue, Jared?
Yeah, I think that's difficult because I'm gonna have to be like super autistic with it
Yeah.
to watch. But yeah, maybe it in a general context, I just need to be more present and be more focused on the prospect to be able to see those things.
Yeah.
So yeah, that does help.
Yeah. And Amro, that's with blinking. The problem with you is that you were like this. Yes. That was Amro on the calls, literally like this. Yes. Amro, you just won $1 million. Okay. Amro, you have terminal cancer. You have 2 days of living. Okay. That was literally Amro on the calls. So it's like, that's the problem. But it also gives you, everything gives you cues, though. It gives you cues, everything. The lack of movement, the excessive movement. Just pay attention to everything. And that's it. If you don't know what it is, you can always just make a loom and send it to me. Keep one thing in mind, and this is the most important thing with body language. Just like I said, it's something that is very good with confidence today, early on, that some of you know. I'm going to give you the secret to body language. Yeah. The literal secret. Do not look for a particular thing. Like if I do this, it's withheld opinion, maybe lying. If I look this place, is this, or if I do this movement, is skepticism. Look for a change. That's the only thing that you guys should be very focused on. A change. Yes? So for example, Andronator now is using a sexual position where he's showcasing more comfortability. Yes? And my point is, that's a change. When was the last time that you saw him seated like that? When was that see, touching the neck, stress? Look at the breathing. Also changed. My point is that the changes are the thing that you should be looking for. That you should be, what is this? Why is this? Yeah. If on the call I start doing this while I'm talking to you guys, and I'm constant, that's a change. Why am I looking so much there? Yeah. So just look for a change, basically. That's how you know something is happening, and you got to pay a lot of attention to it. Because if someone just does this once, it's like, okay, I'm not going to immediately think this as a guarantee. Yeah. A lot of people have tics. Like, for example, I'm always touching my hair. Some of you probably realized it. Is that doesn't mean that I'm nervous or I'm anxious or I do this one. That doesn't mean that I am. It's like something that I just do. Yeah. So, anyways, you guys want me to just analyze Andronator completely? All right. Look at his chin and look at his breathing. Yeah, that's not usual. Move the camera over. Nah. He's also, yeah. Also the color. Yeah. Good shit. Good shit. But those usually are small things. But the real change, though, and again, the greatest example was this one. That, what, since when he does that? Yeah, it's just the change. When you guys see a change, that's interesting. That should be your mind all the time. Yeah. If someone starts breathing differently, looking at some place differently, those are things that you should be. Why? Why, though? Because the change gives you the thing. Yeah. There's not like one thing. So yeah. Anyways, that was it with the questions. Do you guys have another question or nothing else? Nope. No? All right. Yes. Talk to me.
Yo, what up, boys? I have a question. So, when prospects ask you if they need to pay the full amount or if they can do a payment plan, but you know that they actually have the full amount, what do you usually respond?
So you know they have. Andrew Nader just literally dropping that one in the chat. So you know they have the full amount. However, they want to pay in installments. That's the question. I didn't understand.
Yes, I even had a dude yesterday. He said he has the full amount, but he would feel more confident if he, did it via payment plan,
Role play with me. So it's gonna be 5K. And I know you have it. But it's gonna be 5K.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Look, I do have that amount, and I want to do it, but I just feel like I would be more confident if I could split up,
What's behind that?
No, it's just that's almost everything I have. And, if anything happens, it would be kind of tight, I would barely be able to afford it if my car breaks down or anything.
Oh, it's just because you genuinely wouldn't have any extra money?
Yeah.
Okay. Pausing there for a second. I'm gonna get back to the role play, but if it's the truth, though, what is the best thing that you can do? Technically, this is where morality kind of gets in the middle, because it's a valid argument, literally. So I'll give you the logic that I would use in that case. I would dismantle the fear and I would get some type of middle point that benefits me. Why is this? Because if this is true, I'm kind of a dickhead. Just try to get everything out of you on one way. But I also like money and I like to make sure that people do the program. So, again, it's wherever you want to look at the stuff. However, and this is where we get back to the role play so you guys understand. Okay, so I see. So what do you think can happen that might need you to get money? Like your car breaking down?
Yeah, just life happens, or breaking down and everything.
Okay. How frequently does your car break down?
Well, I don't drive the most crazy thing, but yeah, not that often.
Oh, what is not that often? Like for me to understand, see how risky it is for you to.
I guess maybe once every 6 months.
Okay. When was the last time it broke?
Yeah, probably 5 months ago.
Oh, that's perfect timing. Do you want me to just help you with that excuse, or do you want me to actually help you to conquer fears? Because that's what's this is about. Like you might as well tell me that a meteorite is gonna come and destroy you. So it's like if you want to play on that, it's like I guess we're all fucked, right? Tell me the truth. Are you
No, but
afraid
it's
this is
just
not gonna work, or what's going on?
no, no, no. I want to do it. It's just that I feel like it's a bit risky to just give all away and not have anything in case anything would happen.
What's the thing that can happen?
Yeah, like I said, or breaking down, or a family member needing to go to the hospital, or anything.
How frequently does those things happen?
Well, luckily not that often.
Okay. So why not just invest in yourself, making sure that you don't have to worry about that, have peace of mind, make money with the program, and then have 5 times, 6 times, 10 times more so that when an actually emergency happens, you don't have to fix it with a couple thousand, but with a big amount of thousands. Can you help me understand that?
Mm. All right.
You see, it's difficult for you when I put it like that. It's difficult to give you to rationalize a way out. You can still do it if you're stubborn. Like don't get me wrong, guys. If you get a prospect and he tells you that, you and you say it the way I said it, and they even start laughing. Like fuck, you got me. But still, some people might be stubborn and they still don't want to do it because they will feel uncomfortable. All you can do is understand why is that fear happening. And once you understand why is that fear happening, just ask him, okay, how likely is that fear to happen? And then you just do that. So this is psychology 101 for everyone, okay? Write this down. Really, really internalize this. Definition of fear. Can someone define fear for me, actually? Without looking it up, just tell me what you think.
That's an expectation of negative results.
Very good. Unable to do something. So fear is I'll make it even simpler. The more fear you have, the more probabilities of the negative thing to happen you believe it's going to be. So therefore, in a simple explanation is fear is the enhanced expectations of a negative outcome. You can write it like that. Enhanced expectations of a negative outcome. Or enhanced probabilities that a negative thing is going to happen. If that is more easy to understand in your words, you can phrase it in the way you want to. But the point is that fear makes you believe that it's more likely that a negative thing is going to happen. For example, planes. Renator's not on a plane, but I think George is. The plane. How likely is that a plane is going to crash? It's extremely unlikely. It's like planes are literally safer than cars. Like, I don't know if you guys can look it up. Literally. However, everyone is afraid of that. Yeah. And the more afraid you are, if you're in a plane and you start like, oh my God, I'm in a plane and it's gonna take off. And you keep enhancing the negative outcome. without it even affecting the reality at all. But you just by thinking it, you give it more power. And this is what happens in the calls with people. That's why I'm explaining it. So you understand that on the other side of the table, the person in front of you says, I might fail. I might fail. Yeah, I might fail. Yeah, this plane might crash. Even though it's extremely unlikely that's not going to happen. But that's how they feel. So you got to talk to that person. Step number one is just to go with the actual facts and linguistics to make that person with logic understand, yeah, actually, this doesn't make sense. How likely does that happen to you, engineer? And he's like, well, I mean, I don't know. But what if? Right? And then you just got to talk to the emotion. And you can talk to the emotion by calling it out, by just saying, I can clearly see that you're afraid. Do you believe that helps you? Do you want to give power to that emotion? You can tell a story about yourself. I think this is the third one. The first one is the one that I said, calling it out. The third one is saying, well, you know, I did a mentorship once and I was very afraid as well. I completely understand the situation. What I felt was this. And you just, through storytelling, you connect with them emotionally. I'm not the biggest fan of this. This is why I put third. I'll put the second one, which is, so, engineer, you told me that the most important thing to you is to get that Mustang, you know, go with your brother, have a great time. And right now you're letting the fear of something that didn't happen to literally handicap you from the fact that could happen, which is you making money with us and getting that Mustang. You are enslaving yourself by this fear. And just me talking like this, I'm reaching a more emotional, deep state of engineer. Yeah. Okay. Can you tell the difference? Like obviously engineer, but I mean the rest of you, because I'm talking about things that are important to him, personal, emotional. Yeah. His brother, the Mustang, the success. If I just say, oh, how frequently do you have problems like this? Is like that targets the logic. But if you target the logic and then the emotional, it's very difficult for him to say, yeah, I get blah, 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 blah. But if he still does it because he's stubborn, all right. Some people need to die with at their own sword, all right? What you could do if that's an extreme case is go to phase 3, I guess we could call it, which is, okay, how much would it make you, if this is 5K, with how much you'll be comfortable with at least having? Well, at least, I don't know, 2K. Okay, let's do 3K now. You know, so you can get the most out of cash collected. I'll be the third one. And the fourth one is, okay, if you want to die on your own sword and just pay me 2.5K and you rather give in into fears, like, all right, you know, you can only do so much anyways. So yeah, that makes sense to everyone.
So if I understood it correctly, you would start by attacking the logical side, asking, okay, what is the risk that X happens? And then you would play on the emotional side, you know, maybe saying, is this just, you know, your fears winning over you? Did I get the right?
Yeah. So, I mean, I wouldn't say it like that, but to start, I would just say, I'm just gonna go with the logical because it's already a big barrier for you. And saying like, how frequently does this happen? It's like I destroy you with logic. The second one is I wouldn't destroy. I would understand your emotions. Okay, which is, so you're afraid because you believe this is gonna happen, but at the same time, you also told me that this is relevant to you for this reason and because of this and this. And I'm gonna anchor a lot of stuff that are emotionally powerful to you. So if I don't know you at all, and you're talking to me about certain topics and you don't blink in those topics, you're looking downright on those topics, you are leaning in those topics, you're using a different tonality in those topics, you are very engaged in those, you want to tell me more about those stuff, I know those are emotional topics to you. So I'm gonna more than likely bring them on back and I'm gonna say, okay, what about this? And you're going to say, yeah, actually, you are right. And I'll just tell you, do you want to let that positive emotion win, or do you want to let the fear that you have to take over? Because you're not acting out of fear. And thus the successful man that you told me that you're going to be, labeling, act out of fear. Then I got you with that one too. You see, that's how you link the labeling as well. And if that doesn't work, then you go with okay, how much money would you at least like to have some peace of mind? And if they say, no, I want the 2.5K, it's like, okay, let's just do that and fuck it. You know? And Jonator is so distracted that he doesn't realize he muted himself.
Fucking hell. How do you know? The only funny question I have is, how do you know though that you're not exaggerating? Meaning they saying that, oh, if I do this, I don't have anything left. While in reality, maybe they have 1K over. So would you do all and find out that, okay, you know what, 2K is actually all the person has?
Well, you have to see how they are. This is it's logic, pattern recognition, and deception training. What does this mean? Because you're not gonna literally, hey, show me your bank account. You're not gonna do that. All right. So what I mean with that is logic is everything they told you makes sense for them to only have 2K. Sure. If that's checked, that makes sense. Then pattern recognition. They basically, and this is tied with the logic. So they say they're making 5K and they're spending 4K and they're only being able to save 1K. And after 3 months, they get on the call. Is it likely they're going to have 2K? Probably. They probably have that 1K extra. They spend it on food or whatever. So it's kind of likely that they only have 2K. You know, it makes sense. But if someone tells you, oh yeah, I'm making 50K a month and my expenditures are like 30K a month, and I've been living like this for years, and yeah, I don't know about spending 5K. What? You know, something doesn't make sense there. So obviously you pay attention to that. And then it's just deception training, which is, we could do a whole 5-hour masterclass on catching lies. But again, you guys like that topic. Interesting. The number one thing that you always want to see, I said it before, body language, is see the change. And this is the best exception is the best example is deception training. When basically it's not that you catch people lying because they just looked a certain place or they one gesture with their body. Those can help. This can like be, oh, this is interesting, but it's the change. If I am constantly doing this, if I do it through the whole time, it's because I am in a high stress or I'm not saying anything in just a few minutes. But if I just keep doing it for all the call, then that's just my normal way of doing it. Yeah. So the example is me when I'm thinking, I'm doing this with my hair. Usually I do this. If on the call, I'm like this, and you see me at the beginning, you might realize that you're nervous, anxious about something. Usually that's what it means. However, if for some reason you knew that I'm always doing this stuff, then it's fine. Yeah. It's not, it's the fact that when I stopped, he's very focused now. So it's the opposite. It's the absence of it. It's just the change. You always look for the change. So if I'm constantly looking at you when I am talking to you, and when I say something and I just look away, then that means that I'm probably lying to you or something is out there. Yeah, it's the change. You look for the change. So that's pretty much with deception. We can do a lie detecting masterclass one day. It's fine. It's the thing that is difficult to really catch it. I would say the number one thing is, again, just using logic and pattern recognition. They tell you all this stuff about their lives. Doesn't make sense that they have that money. If it doesn't, just ask it. And the third one is seeing those changes, spotting those lies. You're like, well, why? This doesn't make sense. Also, why are you lying to me about this? You don't want to do it. You want to do it? What's going on? So you basically work on that as well. Yeah.
That makes sense. Appreciate it.
Anything else, ladies, man?
All good.
All right. All right. Cool. So let's give it. Do you guys have any other questions, or you wanna jump into role plays and stuff? Role plays. Okay. Cool. So we're gonna take a 5-minute break. We're gonna do the role plays. Andronator, she's highly interested in this, so I would recommend you talking to her about what's going on. Very. Like you just say casually, drop something there. Anyways, George, do you have a question? She keeps, yeah, exactly. Up there. Oh, let me read it. You tagged me? Didn't read that. Really? Oh, there you go. Couldn't you just label them in the discovery? So when they say they just wanted to play it safe, you tell them, what would Mustang Andronator version of you do? Yeah. I don't know about saying Mustang Andronator. It's kind of fun. You know who did this? It's so wonderful to see it, because it's one thing that I really like is when people use this stuff on people who are big people. Like, if I do this stuff that I know how to do, and to Pedro, the homeless guy on the street, no one gives a shit, right? But so I saw the video. You guys can see it. Tony Robbins and Hermosi. You can see it. And you can see a lot of the psychological stuff that I'm teaching you that Tony Robbins is doing on Hermosi. He even labels him alive. He even says, name yourself on this character. Name yourself on this character. And he labels him and talks directly to the labeled Hermosi. He's just running him in circles on that aspect. It's crazy to see it. I think it's a good example on seeing it, someone doing it on a high level with another high level individual, because both of them are beasts. So you can see how effective it is that no one is safe from this. No one is safe from this. My Kevin saw nah, what the hell? Anyways, what is this? Chat. Anyways, my point is, this is highly efficient with everyone. All right. My mentor was teaching me something that taught him. Yeah, I'll tell you. I'll say more stuff about this later on. But it's how people get recruited and stuff, or how people get, people who a lot of influence, they get attacked by high level individuals, and they use a lot of labeling to kind of blackmail you. It's insane, and it works with a lot of people. It's very efficient. Learn it, guys. I'm not teaching it just because I fucking like it. Like, it's genuinely super powerful, right? So yeah, anyways. Finishing to answering your question, yes, you can absolutely do it, George. Again, I think I even kind of answered it, because in one moment I said to Andronator, what would the successful version of you do? Something, is the typical, is the labeling. It's very easy for you to just say to them, well, do you believe that the version you want to be only is always playing it safe? Is thinking that bad things might happen? Or he thinks that good things will happen? Labeling, all the time. So yeah, absolutely. Labeling is the most powerful thing. So 100%. Minor believes that Tony is the best salesperson because he refrains people. Yeah, 100%. 100%. I don't know if he's not the best one. He's not, but he's good. He's good because he understands a lot of the things that I am teaching you, and he uses it. He's not salesy, The best salesmen are not salesy. That's why I'm teaching you guys to do it. It all came down to one of the first times I spoke with Liam. I said this to all of you before, and that it was literally the best pitch in history. When I said, hey, maybe I could train Liam so that I could be his coach and he can make money. And when I talked with him, instead of me pitching him. I just said, well, if you make money, I make money. And he was like, okay, interesting. And that's it. You know, that's the real, the win-win. That's sales. And that's why I made such a level of importance on this, because the win-lose is why you're not really getting to a higher level. Because as long as you guys go with the mentality of, how can I make this person win? Because that's also going to help me win. You will win more. It's not about getting all the money out of it. That's why when a donator said, you know, oh, but I have other things that I have to spend money on. It's like, well, it depends. If it's genuine, well, if I don't force you to pay me full and you have a little bit for yourself, because something genuinely is going to happen, it's not just your fear, you can feel more comfortable with me. You're going to appreciate me more. You're going to still pay everything. So I'm going to make the same amount of money anyways. Or I can just ask you for a referral. Hey, by the way, do you know a friend or someone who also might want to do this? Which is something that you guys should do. It's like, yeah, sure. I mean, my friend Tyler, he kind of, you know, likes this stuff. Okay. Do you want to create a WhatsApp group with me and him? Yeah, sure. Let's do it. Boom. You create a WhatsApp group with him and then you talk. So you can win it back. There's a famous example on this about a guy who was a salesman in, I don't remember the store, something like, let's just keep talking about Rolex, right? It's like something very expensive. And an old lady walked in, and because she didn't have the best clothes, everyone ignored her. But he went to her, asked her, hey, can I help you with something? What can I do for you? He took the time. He even gave her an address to go somewhere else. Then, like 3 days later, he received a letter, and that woman was in the minister of the UK. Like, she worked in the government there, you know, and she was highly related. I don't remember the names. Sorry, I read this a long time ago, but she was like highly related to the people, to the family in charge, you know, like the Queen of England and all that people. And she gave him a job in there, and made a lot more money selling stuff in there. So obviously the analogy here and the lesson is that win-win. Always seek to see how you can help people. You never know. So yeah, anyways, let's finish up there, unless you guys have a question on this. Nope. Good. All right, lads. There you fucking have it. That is a bit of a more in a psychology and mindset session, where you realize what's really the important thing behind sales, not the stupid linguistics, and what it is that in reality you do. If you like this type of content, let me know. Just put it in the fucking chat and tell me so that I know. All right. Yeah, look, I prefer you make this type of content. No, look, I just do 100% sales. I don't know. Just fucking tell me. All right. If you guys, obviously, you want to be coached by me, you want to be part of a community that works 1,000 hours nonstop, literally, that are able to make 5 figures knowing that they had 0 experience in sales. If you want a mentor who actually gives a shit and it's very fucking real and that swears a lot for no reason, just let me know, apply, and you can work with me. Unless you're a dickhead and I'll reject you. So that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you in the next one. Happy hunting.